Hi, I'm Amy. This is House of Nash Eats, and today we are making Monte Cristo sandwiches. Okay, so we're going to start by making the batter for our Monte Cristo sandwiches. So I've got 1 3/4 of a cup of all-purpose flour in a shallow dish, like a pie pan or an 8x8 pan or some kind of bowl. And then I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And I think this is really the secret to like an excellent is leavening your batter a little bit so it puffs slightly while it fries. It makes it really, really good. And then we're also going to add 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt and just give that a quick whisk together with a whisk or a fork so that the baking powder gets evenly dispersed. Now we're going to, in a separate bowl, whisk together some milk and some water and 2 eggs. And mostly this is just to break up those eggs so that when you add it to the flour, you can make your batter without like really overworking the flour and developing the gluten. Okay, so now we're going to add our eggs to our flour, the eggs and milk and water and stuff. And now we're just going to mix that together. My pie plate is kind of full here, but as it mixes together, it will, like the flour will absorb the liquid and will be just fine. All right, so once your batter kind of comes together, it's okay if it's a little bit lumpy, but the flour should mostly be incorporated and there shouldn't really be any streaks of flour remaining. Then we're ready to assemble and batter our sandwiches and then we'll fry them. All right, so here's how we assemble a Monte Cristo sandwich. I'm going to take 2 slices of bread, and this is my homemade challah bread. You can use any kind of thick bread that would be good for French toast, like a brioche bread, something like that would work really well. So we're going to do 2 pieces of bread, and we're going to do a piece of ham on each piece, and then a piece of turkey. And when I get this from the deli, I ask them to cut it thick, more like a sandwich cut. This is also a great way to use up leftover ham and turkey from a holiday recipe. Like if you've got ham and turkey and you want to create something that's different because your family's tired of leftovers. And then we're going to do a piece of Swiss cheese and we'll put the matching piece of bread on top. And then I'm going to grab a knife and I cut these in half on the diagonal. These are really rich sandwiches because they get fried and they've got cheese and stuff, so they're really, really filling. And the first time I ever had a Monte Cristo sandwich was at Disneyland at the Blue Bayou restaurant. You can also get them at Cafe New Orleans. And this is kind of like my copycat version of them, and they're so, so good. Just like the ones you get at Disneyland, but you don't have to wait forever or get a reservation to get one. Okay, so now I'm going to take my sandwiches, and if you have a hard time with them falling apart, you might want to stick toothpicks in them, but usually I can just do this just fine. And I'm going to dip it into my batter and then put it right into my hot oil. So I'm going to get some oil going in a pan right now. I kind of forgot to do that part. Okay, I checked the temperature of my oil. It's between 350 and 375, which is right where we want it. So now I'm going to take my sandwiches and it's gonna get messy. I'm gonna dip them in the batter so that they're coated on all sides, and then shake off any excess and then gently, carefully lay them into the hot oil. Okay, we're going to repeat that and fry them for about 3 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes on each side until the batter is all the way cooked and the inside is all melty and hot and so, so good. Just watch your oil temperature and don't crowd your pan. If you get too many sandwiches in at once, it can really drop that oil temperature fast. Okay, so when it's golden brown on the bottom, get some tongs and very carefully flip your sandwiches over. Okay, and then we're just gonna let them cook for another 3 to 5 minutes another 2 to 3 minutes on the second side until they're done. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and fry a couple more of these. I'm gonna do a whole one just so I can slice into it and show you what it looks on the inside. But make sure that you transfer your finished sandwiches to a wire rack set on a baking sheet. That's actually going to help them stay a little more crisp than if you put them on paper towel. Periodically, be sure to check your oil while you're frying your sandwiches just to make sure it's kind of staying in that range of temperatures, about 350 to 375. We don't fry food that often at our house, but when we do, like, this is totally worth it. It's a total splurge, a big treat. We all love these Monte Cristo sandwiches, and we're going to serve them in a little bit with some raspberry jam. So good. Okay, so we've got our Monte Cristo sandwiches fried, and they have cooled down just a little bit so that they're cool enough to eat. And I'm going to plate them and show you how we eat them. So we would do 2 halves like that and dust them with some powdered sugar, just like that, and serve them with a little individual cup of raspberry jam, or you could use blackberry jam for dipping. And that is how you make a Monte Cristo sandwich. All right, I'm so excited to taste these. They are like a cross between like a melty ham and cheese sandwich and a donut, which sounds weird, but it's so good. And don't be afraid of the jam with the savory ham and turkey. It's too good. Seriously, this is probably my favorite sandwich ever. It's definitely not health food, but it's such a great indulgence. I love these sandwiches. My husband, my whole family does. They're a great treat, taste just like the ones you would get at Disneyland, at Blue Bayou, or the New Orleans Cafe. I know you're going to love these. I hope you guys love these Monte Cristo sandwiches. They are such a treat. If you do, be sure to like and subscribe to my channel for more great recipes just like this.